Another week and another good episode. Not gonna lie, this was another good episode. Even though this episode only contained one chapter in total. Now I remember this chapter, so I know that it's just one chapter in total. But not gonna lie, even if it had dragged out the chapter, it was alright. It wasn't like those first few episodes; it was just dragged out and stuff. It was an alright episode. So basically, the start of the chapter is how it works out is that Leopold and Noel they defeat the Mudman creature that was Radis's creature, if you remember. So they basically defeat the Mudman creature. Fugulin captures Radis and he begins to question him, and he confiscates his grimoire, which only contained one page. That means he can only use one spell. Normally, a grimoire will contain about many pages. I don't know how many accurate, but they contain many pages. Normally, grimoire do contain many pages. But this guy only had one page, meaning he can only use one spell. While other people contain many pages, meaning they can use many spells. That's how grimoire work in this world. So, Raiders only had one page, meaning that it was quite a surprise for Fugilian who captured Raiders. He was quite surprised to see Raiders only having one page, and he's like, this is unique. And then someone starts speaking in Raiders' ear. It was like a earphone, like a Bluetooth. That's basically how I can put it. It was like a device I'll use to communicate in that world. So someone starts speaking to Raiders, and Asta actually, this is a very unique technique that Asta has in this series, that he can hear from distance. So that's why you see Asta's ear, like flinching. He can hear that voice. He can hear that voice, and I'm not going to spoil why that is. There is a reason why he can hear so clearly and so loudly, but it's it's like Asta can hear that voice. So we get shots of magical knights. These magical knights, they are like checking all around and stuff. They're looking at the dead bodies and stuff. And all of a sudden, the voice it says, it's time to what do you say? It's time to carry out the mission. There you go. That's what I meant to say. We get that shot where he says, like, this blonde chick says, like, oh, it's time to carry out the mission. The witch we saw in the previous episode at the end. She's like, it's time to carry out the mission. So basically, that happens, and everybody starts getting teleported. Starts getting transported to some place, and his grimoire acts on its own, and he starts gliding up. So he's the only person who doesn't get teleported because his grimoire it started acting on its own. It's basically the grimoire it responded to danger. That's how I could put it in simple terms. The grimoire responded to the danger, and that's how he started flying the gliding in the air, and everybody says it's teleported to about 100 kilometers away from the magic knight. And why, you ask? There's only one person that they really want to take away, and that one person will be not available for 2 to 3 arcs from here on. Who's that person, you ask? It's Fugilian Vermilion. That's right. There's that only one person, and the blonde chick says that he is the one they need to eliminate. She basically says there's someone they need to eliminate, but it's not. Yuno looks at the magic king, the Clover king. He's like, oh shit, is she talking about eliminating the Clover kingdom, like Clover king? So that was his like mindset at that time, but it was something else. It was Fugilian Vermilion, and you get a glimpse of that stone, and that stone is what they need to resurrect the demon that was defeated by what's his name, the hero they speak about. That's the key to resurrecting the demon. Yeah, that will be. I already spoiled them. Let's just move on. It's quite simple. You guys should get that too, because they already glimpsed at that. So you guys should already make out with that. It's not a big spoiler. We already knew, like, because already Nero, the bird, already had that gems, so you know they're collecting the gems for some reason. So there you go. The reason for collection of the gems. So that's there. Then the blonde chick starts, the blonde witch, basically the witch. They she basically starts sucking out everybody's life force by, like, she's a cursed magic user, just like the radius, or the radius. What the hell is radius? What did I say? Radius? Whatever. Radius. Just like radius, the blonde chick, she uses cursed magic. So she basically starts sucking out life from people. Unlike Raiders, who uses undead cursed magic, uh, this chick, she uses a more life endangering, like life sucking curse magic. Like, how do you put it in simple terms? You know, she uses her curse magic like a vampire or succubus. In simple terms, if I put it, like, I could say something like that, like sucking out blood or sucking out a soul out of them. That's basically what she does. She starts sucking out mana or life force from people, and she starts doing that. And Yuno saves somebody. Yuno jumps in, calls her old hag. She gets angry. She starts destroying hands with Yuno, and she starts using curse bullets. Now, what does curse bullets do? These curse bullets are basically the things that, like, when you attack somebody with these curse bullets, they slowly start to lose their sensory organs. Not like legitimately, but they still slowly start to lose the sense of presence and stuff. So their five sensory organs start to shut down. That's the simple way I can put, because you can't hear anything, you can't feel anything, you can't. I don't know about taste. I never thought about that. But you can't hear anything, you can't feel anything, you can't, like, move your own body and stuff. Like, it's basically like that. You can't do anything when you're, like, in this you're hit by these curse bullets. So that's basically what happens. Fugaleon, I know I say call him Fugaleon, but Fugaleon, he basically gets teleported to another spatial place, like a spatial place, not a special place, a spatial space. Okay, like spatial. Touch my spaghetti. That's all. Yeah, it's a spatial space. But he gets teleported there, and that's all we know about it. That he's teleported in the spatial place. I'm not gonna spoil what's gonna happen in that spatial place because I already know what happens. But he gets teleported in the spatial place, and we see that we get a transition back to Yuno and the witches fight, where Yuno has lost all sense of control, and he's thinking about himself. He's like an idiot who doesn't know anything. Like, he's been looked down, just like Asta. He's just a lowly, like a peasant for the nobles, and he doesn't do anything for the nobles. From the noble's eyes, he's just still that one brat who's just a peasant. That's basically what it is. So that all happens, and we slowly see this one scene where fairies, or sylph to be exact, they start gathering around Juno, and starts. We come to know that Juno is a we already knew that Juno is a wind magic user, but we come to know, as Juno is a wind magic user, he has a high sense of mana. That's right. Wind magic users have high sense of mana. Meaning that they can sense mana a lot, like a sensory organ. Mana sensing is like a sensory organ where you could sense mana, like legitimately. You can sense even the smallest tiny bits of mana. Like, that's how high wind magic users sensory on mana is. So that's basically what wind magic user, like Yuno is. Yuno is a wind magic user, so he can sense his mana so high. He can use his mana as well, and he can sense the manas and stuff. So we know about that. So because he now understood that he needs to sense mana rather than using his other sensory organ like sight or hearing. He basically now he can use fairy self, who depends on the sensing of mana, whose ability depends on the sensing of mana. That is fairy self uh, is pretty, yeah, it's pretty much like how do I put it in simple terms? Uh, Basically, you know how dogs have a high sensory organ, like they sense everything very quickly, since with just smell and stuff, something like that. Something like that. Pseudo has a very high sensory organ, and that's why high sense mana sense. I mean, not sensory organ, but mana sensing ability. So that's why he can just bring out fairy self, because fairy self is basically someone who can sense, who depends on the sensing of mana. I'm really losing my words here, but fairy self is somebody who really depends on sensing of mana, and because start sensing mana more clearly and stuff, fairy self can be bought out, because fairy self is something made out of mana. She's a fairy after all, so that's that's basically how I can put it in simple terms. There's no way you can put it that in more simpler terms than this. If you can, just let me know. Like, I can really put that in more simpler terms. But basically brings out fairy self with the help of his mana sensing ability, and basically the that attack. I remember that attack in manga. I wasn't impressed that much as I was impressed in the anime. Not gonna lie, that attack, the self breath. Whew, that attack was just magnificent. Like, not gonna lie, what a great way to end this episode. Like, yo. Now, just a little itty bitty spoiler. Just a little bit of itty bitty spoiler, alright? The person who Vermilion sees at the end of this episode, Asta is gonna fight him, I believe, in the next arc. So keep an eye out for that, cause it's gonna be one of my favorite fights. It's Asta and Yami fighting against three really really important villains. Just keep an eye out on that fight, cause it's one of my favorite fights in Black Clover. So in the next arc, we are gonna see that fight, and I'm really excited to see that fight, cause that fight definitely it's one of the best fights I've seen in Black Clover. So it's just like I'm so excited because it's just like one arc away. Like, as soon as this arc is completed, boom, we're gonna see this next arc where Asta and Yami are gonna fight this guy. Whew! Not gonna lie, I'm excited for that one. Anyways, that's all for this video. Where do you scale this episode? Let me know, because I scale it around 7.5 for me, because obviously, first of all, there was animations, somewhat lacking animations. I really didn't feel that much. Second of all, the chapter was dragged on just like all the chapters. Third, intro again too long, and fourth, I don't think so I will give any kind of fourth point, because I don't see the transition at the 10-minute mark. I don't think it was that long, but it's still long, so I'll give that one minus. So yeah, I think so those four are the main elements that really, like, I didn't like out of everything, out of the whole episode. Otherwise the episode was magnificent. I'll give it to that. It was a very good episode, but again, Ship Pirate are just dragging it out. Like, I don't like it, cause this was just one chapter as I remember it, and I'm not a big fan of dragging on, but I really like the fight, so that's the reason why I'll give it a 7.5, because they didn't disappoint me with the fight between Yuno and the witch. So that's all for this review. What do you think? Where do you scale this episode? And if you like my comment, don't forget. What? If you like my comment, yeah. If you like my comment, don't forget to like the video. Yeah, my comment is the best, right? Anyways, if you like my content, don't forget to like the video, and do not forget to subscribe as I do more gaming and anime content. As always, peace.